Why, hello and good morning, everyone. Good to see you here. Paul Trani, gonna dive into today's masterclass, distorting type, which is a popular subject, and it's what we do a lot in Illustrator. So that is the plan. I want to say hello to Cody Bear, Afrosia, Andreas, Carol, General Kenobi is here, Steve's in the house, Frank. Michelle says audio and video are good, because I had to upgrade Wirecast and rebuild all my projects, right? Which is always smart to do. You know what? If something's not working, just restart your computer, just rebuild it, just like just reset everything. It's just a reset. Yes, and I am very cozy. Got the nice holiday lights going on here. Thank you so much. This is probably my favorite dad sweater. I have so many dad sweaters. It's crazy. And I love all of them. So thank you so much for joining me today. And we'll go ahead and switch screens here and dive into this, if you don't mind. And again, a number of quotes and sayings and words just to give us a place to start. And yeah, we'll get this party started, right? Hopefully you like the lights. I don't know. Is it messing with your head? How is it working okay? My resolution is a little small, but I'm hoping to sort of like zoom in and do all that fun stuff as well. So hopefully that works for you. All right, everybody. That's funny. General Kenobi, you would say that. All right, so using some shortcut keys, just so you know. Waiting for them to kick into gear. There you are. Come on, do your thing. Tish, tish. Apparently, I just launched Adobe Bridge, which is also good. You can actually put sequences together. But I have a number of quotes in here, like all about creativity. All right, so it just gives me an opportunity to really distort type, right? So like just taking one word and playing with it a lot. You know, creative minds are rarely tidy. Yeah, we're going to distort some of those words, right? Don't be afraid of silly ideas. Yeah, I'm going to have some silly ideas. I'm going to make some mistakes, right? Like I'm doing right now, zooming in on nothing. Art is chaos taking shape. So you can start to see lots of visuals even as I read these. So I think it will be fun. Lights are great. Okay, good. You can change them at any time. No artist tolerates reality, right? So I have some fun ones here. So yeah, I want to do some cool things with this. So I have like way too many ideas for the amount of time that I have, but no artist tolerates reality. Really thought that one was cool. And really sort of, using some people, sort of taking a person and have them in a sort of like a 3D space, kind of walking up and down stairs, kind of like it is an MC Escher painting. Right, so this guy's walking this way, this guy's, walking the other direction, all that fun stuff, right? So again, that's a case where we'll dive into 3D, and it should be a lot of fun. But let's start up right here, right? So let's just keep this simple, because again, I just want some simple structure for some type. The festive lights. Shift Command H is my favorite shortcut, because it gets rid of the canvas, like just so I could work on, say, this chunk of text right here if I want to. Okay, so I'm going to do this really fast, hopefully really fast. Let's kind of take a look at our type. Our type is actually not bad. Right, so we'll go into properties. I use, a font that gives me lots of flexibility, which is like a variable concept font, right? Acumen. It's fine. It could be Arial, Helvetica. I always start with a basic font because I know I'm going to mess with it a lot, right? So I'll just kind of boil that down to just super thin lines like so, okay? And this could be the start of something cool, right? We could take this, we could play with the text, right? We could throw another R in there. We could, again, even within that same line, we can add some thickness right there. So that's 525, right? I've just added a weight of 525. And sure enough, right up here, we'll select this one. We'll do the same thing, 525. right? There's sort of just a simple design. And I don't know if it makes any sense at all, right? So again, I've seen that somewhere before, not in this sort of rendition, but it's a way just to show you, you know, how to just pick some fonts and have some fun with, you know, some variable fonts. What was that I saw about, like, anyone have any exciting plans for the weekend? I do. I'm gonna have a big holiday party this weekend, actually. So I could easily get distracted and show you the menu and the cocktails and everything that I've made in Illustrator for the big party. So that'll be pretty fun. All right, so I'm gonna take this now and we're just gonna go ahead and create outlines, right? Command Y, we can see all of these lines. I need to get rid of half of these lines because I want to just keep them as a simple stroke, right? So we'll just get rid of that, get rid of that. Right in here, this is going to be a situation. We have a situation, folks. Trust me, I sometimes think I know what I'm doing. So for this one, let's take the outside. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of, you know, breaking this down to some basic shapes, right? I don't know if you do things this way. You could also just kind of, you know, just kind of outline them yourself. But I'm lazy. I'm not really lazy. Actually, laziness is like, you know, is how you get how you figure out shortcuts, basically. Let's get rid of the inside there. We want to cut this. So we're going to try to be smart about this as well. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this right here and these two. This is going to come to life in a second, but I'm going to have some interesting shapes in here, right? We're just kind of manipulating some type. Hello, Varun. Good to see you. I'm also going to mess with this curve right here because I'm not crazy about it. I think I could do something pretty cool there. And I guess what? We already did the E, so we're good to go there. Shabam. Ungroup. Same here. Ungroup. Grab this. This is life in Illustrator. By the way, I have Illustrator on the iPad right over here that I might jump into. Yeah, let me know what you guys have going on. Megan, just one thing going on, just waiting for all the ice to melt so I can walk around without slipping and falling. Megan, where do you live? Be curious to hear. By the way, here I am in Denver, and we've had our first snowfall in Denver of the year just this morning. So I'm feeling all cozy inside with my fancy lights. And yeah, it's kind of cool. Very first snowfall this year. So yeah, kind of into it. Ba-boom. It's all about knowing which points to delete. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Oh, another thing that I just actually did not do, because this is such clean type. If you ever have to go in and delete a lot of these points, just like I was doing, you could always like simplify them. Like right here, even as I clicked, these additional points, I can make all of them go away on all of the fonts, on all the letters, just by going into path and then just doing a simplify. So that's normally what I would do, is like if I'm deleting lots of points, maybe I simplify it first or halfway through, right? And as I take that down, they better go away. Come on, buddy. Oh, do I even have it selected correctly? Let's click on it one more time. We'll go to Object, Path, make sure it's selected. Yeah, that's one thing you have to do. Boom, and then they're gone. Now it's going to be much easier for me to go through and delete all of those points, because there's less points to delete. Alberta, Canada. Okay, thank you, Megan. Crazy freezing rain on Tuesday. Boy, that sounds intense. Okay, so this situation here, there's a couple different ways we could bring that together. I could just delete that line, right? And then move these together. Zoop, zoop. And you guys know the little magic shortcut for joining those two? Command J should join them. Hit the minus key, ba-bam. Now we've gotten rid of one of those 2 points that I've just joined. Now I have that perfect little point there. So that's all. You got skating rinks? Everything's a skating rink? That sounds like amazing, especially if you're in Canada. Right? That's awesome. I love it when it gets cold out and people start driving in the bad weather, and then you just start blaming it on maybe the closest warm weather state or country, maybe. Because, like, you know, when people start freaking out over the snow, we're always like, darn Californians don't know how to drive in the snow. That's what we say. We look for Texas or California plates. They're like, oh yeah, I knew they'd be from Texas. You know, it's just dumb. But I'm sure everybody does it, is what I'm saying. Okay, so Command Y, there we are. Here's all my fun shapes. Yes, they're all filled. Yeah, we'll flip that, huh? Ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba. So, anyways. How do you dismiss the simplify dialog? I know, Rick. Am I right? Like, how do you dismiss it? It doesn't need, you don't need to confirm it because it happens as you scrub. So you just click off of it. You go to the next tools. You don't need to confirm it at all. So that's all. I'm gonna add some style to this because I think this R needs to come down. We need to do a number of things. I think it'd be cool to add some lines and have some fun with this. In fact, I have this line down here and I might play with it a little bit. Joop, 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 joop. I don't know, let's just try some things, huh? Let's not be afraid of making mistakes. I'm gonna, maybe already make some mistakes. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just take this, make a new shape. Ba-boom, boom. You'll see it come together in a second. I'm just gonna make a brush really fast. But I want this middle to be like white, for instance. Right, so do something kind of like that. It's pretty basic, right? I could actually expand on this some more. I haven't decided how complex I need this to be. So I'm just kind of unsure about that. Let's actually move this up. We might even get more interesting if we make these different colors. So maybe I'll do that as well. So let's go into swatches. Shabu. Zaba. Yeah, are you guys excited? You guys like cold weather? Anyone? Anyone? I'm not a fan. You know why? Because I don't get to ride my electric bike. And that's like the simple joys in life, I swear. That's all I really want to do is ride my electric bike. Here in Florida, we call them snowbirds, and they drive like... Okay. Expletives. All right, let's take these lines. Let's drop it. Let's make it into a pattern brush. We'll click OK. We'll pick our corners. We'll have some fun with this. Auto-centering it. Guess what? We could pick a key color because that's really what I wanted to do is I want to jump in, pick that red, and that's going to be a hue shift for that red. We'll click OK. Right? So now we have our brush right down here. Bliss likes cold weather. I do too. You know what I like about cold weather? It's like you get to dress up in layers. I like wearing layers, you know? Like I got a cool like a tan like long like trench coat, is it? You know, it's like that sort of fashion I'm into. So yeah, that's what I like about it. Okay, Shift C will give you your anchor point tool. So you can click on this and make that a sharp point because that's what I want to do for this. I want to really start to play with the shapes of these letters and what they are, right? So we'll do that, but we'll also apply our new brush that we just made. So again, I really wanted to just pull that down like so, desperately. Yeah, same, Michelle, don't mind the cold weather, but like warm weather. Into it. All right, so we have our text right here. And let's go ahead and work with it. So take this, all these lines, and apply this. Now, anytime it's huge and out of proportion, yeah, it's going to be that way. Your first intention is to decrease the stroke, when really what you need is you need to double click on that pattern brush, and you need to just take the scale down. Take that down by, I don't know, in this case, like 40%. Since preview is turned on, you can see what it gives me. So we'll take this down even to 20, right? This is more along the lines of what I want, right? That looks good. We'll click OK. Bam, there we apply to strokes, and then we have our fun lines. And we get to start to see some of our little issues that we have right in here. Like this little point right here. Not crazy about it. Let's remove it. Again, dash line, shaboom. There we are. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Is this boring? Talk to me. You know, everything starts out a little boring, and that means that, you know, it has a way to go. I don't even like the word be creative. I like the word creative. You know? I really want to start creating a lockup with this too. Oh man, I would love to have warm. Steve, wherever you're talking about, oh, yeah, you're New Zealand. That's right. I'm so jealous of you. Okay, let's try this. How would you flip these colors? Let's say, for instance, for these two letters, I want the red to be on top. And this one, I want the purple to be on the bottom. This one, I want the red to be on top. So let's just try that. Let's go to Object. Let's go to Path, and we'll reverse path direction. Bam! Reversing the path direction will save you so much time. So yeah. So again, I can mix that up. So I can really mix this up a lot. It's going to get crazy. But the cool thing is I kind of have this, at least this very simple brush kind of set up, and I'm going to be changing the color a lot with it. And I feel like moving these around as well. So taking this down, doing something like this type lockup like so, right? Do I do something like this? So this is probably how I'd lock it up. I love creating these little puzzles where it's like, these lines, like, does this need to kind of fit right in there, right? Does this become the top of the V, right? Or do they connect in some sort of way? So that's kind of what I'm working on now. It's like, do I kind of lock it up like this? And it's all part of the creative process, obviously, right? Having that lock like that. This A seems a little far out, so do we, not with that, but do we bring it in a little bit like so? And like, how much do we really need to tighten this up, right? Let's bring that up. Another thing this is missing is, of course, we're going to play with the color. We got to play with the color, right? There we have this, good to go. I like puzzles too. I like fitting things together. I love mazes. I used to draw mazes as a kid, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately. But this is fun because we can really start out with the R and the V could be one single line. Yeah, so are they one single line? I like that, but it's going to shift everything over. And you know what, Cody? We're going to try it. Hey. I will I will try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Zip, up. Okay, I'm into it. What do you think? I'm kind of into it. Up, 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 up. You know, these two. Command J, ba-ba. Minus key, remove. There we go. We have our perfect racing line, zipping around, all that good stuff. We can start to connect a number of these if we want to. Okay, cool. Are we having fun yet? Are we learning things? That's the big thing. It's like, even when you're making mistakes, you're kind of, as long as you're learning, that's a good place to be, right? So yeah, I'm kind of liking this type lockup. I want to add like a number of lines like all around it, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. like adding other lines of circles and shapes and things like that. Changing the color. So, do you guys like that one? I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. And this is how your artboard should look, right? You know what? There's no time to name layers when you're being creative, right? Just busy making stuff. So, let's take a look at this now. What I did in here for this brush is the key color should not be black. The key color is going to be red. Okay, hue shift. Click OK. Apply to strokes. Ready. Everything is going to change. Everything should go dark. Boom. Everything went dark. Why? Because we have black as our stroke color. Go in here. Let's fix it up. Fix it. There we go. Now we're back to normal. Yeah, we don't make mistakes, just happy accidents, or, yeah, something like that. But now we can start to manipulate the color of all these lines. Just something that says, like, you know, something that's more creative. We could even put a cap on the end. Maybe you don't like this. Maybe we want to round it so we connect these lines somehow. That might work. Okay, but let's go in here and let's just kind of play with some of these. Are these even connected? Yes, they are. Okay, so let's select these lines. Let's go in here. Let's flip this to green. So we have this bright green. Click OK. Sure enough, it changes it all. So that's how we're going to manipulate this. We'll go into our blues. Let's undo that. I'm going to grab this A instead. Let's try yellow. Sure, why not? Let's take this, hit I, click on that. There we go. You get the idea. What other colors we got? Purple? A little bit of a shift. You know, I don't know. And this is just typically what you'll do is like you figure this out. Maybe it's working, maybe it isn't. It's not bad. You know, like I almost need to step away for a second to really see what the heck I'm doing. Right? So I've changed too many of them. And I have the original kind of stuck in my head. I kind of have a little bit of an issue. And now with a black background or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I have those black lines which would disappear. So, but I'd happily try anything. So, mazes are amazing. So, yeah, I'm still looking at this. I'm still thinking about all the fun lines that I want to do. Kind of looks like a neon sign. Doesn't even say creative that much. What does it say? It says maze to me, which is okay. But I want to still add some more playfulness to this. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take these. Remember, this is our simple line we made earlier. We're going to duplicate it. We'll shrink it up. We will take this point, round it. We need to join these lines, so this will be fun. And I don't have guides turned on, so let's take a look at that. Smart guides. Turning on smart guides, so everything kind of can start snapping into place, right? Snap, pull that down. Snap. There we go. Send it to the back. Let's take this. Maybe these need to be rounded. Oh, let's do this. Let's take this. Maybe just this one. Do we do something like that, maybe? Like that. So, is this kind of like our end cap? Again, moving this in. Like that. Okay, okay. We're getting somewhere. Bear with me, people. It's like, man, art takes time, huh? Things worth doing takes time. You know, and you really notice it you know, when I look at some of the artists, even on Adobe Live here, I'm like so impressed. Again, Cody Bear, I think of you. Any illustrator, I'm like, yeah, they put some serious work into their project, and I'm like, you know what? It shows. The amount of time you spend on something, you know, really shows. So that's what I wanted for my little end cap. There's one. Zoop. Take it here. Double click on the rotation tool. Oh, not the rotation tool. Sorry about that. The reflect tool. Double click. Flip it vertically. There we are, like so. Now we can create our brush. Chris is in the house. Chris, we're going to knock this out really fast. Just so you know, I have a ton of other brushes, so we could have so much fun with these lines now that I have them made. Let me drink some of my coffee, shall I? If one wanted to change the R where the two lines coming together, oh, are flush and not overlapping. Yeah, I just need to adjust that. It would be the thickness of the line, which I technically don't know because it's 20% of its original. I would just move that in like so. We still have that same issue, even like right here. Okay, so we'll bring that, we'll make sure it connects right here, and then we need to adjust this, excuse me, this Bezier point right here. Boop. There we go. Let's make it perfect. You're like, you demand perfection, huh? You're like, I want perfection. I still have that snapping, so that's what's happening. This happens sometimes, how it goes like, I can't get there. Just turn off smart guides and, oh, turn off snap to point. That's really what's going on. There might be even some snapping to glyph. So if it says snapping, just turn that off. There we go. We have, does that make you feel better? I actually need to bring it in a little bit as well. So let's click on that line to bring it in maybe. Oh, and we have some overlapping I could actually work with. That might even make it easier, right? It's overlapping. Let's bring that in. I don't know. You could easily sort of screw this up and get your tangent. You can go off on a tangent on your tangents, but maybe that looks better. I don't know. All right, we got it. Okay, let's move on. Where were we at? Over here. Let's do this dance. Take this. Shaboom. Shabam. Pattern brush. Okay. Give me what I need. Oh, you know, I didn't even need to do that. Never mind. I don't even need to make a new brush because I have these. Now, I'm going to take these swatches. Let's take this end cap. And it's not quite perfect. Bring it in a little bit more. Bring it in a little bit more. Struggle in here. Let's take this, drop it in here. It's now going to be a pattern. Boom. Take this guy. Drop it in there. It's also going to be a pattern. Usually I would name these. Hopefully there's not any weird gaps, but it's new pattern swatch 1. I might double click on that and call this one start brush. And then this will be one end brush like that. Done. Okay, so we've made these two lovely patterns. Double clicking right in here. We can take this to the next level. So this is why I named them a number, so they appear at the top. Because otherwise you're going to be scrolling forever. So you click 1, yeah, it's going to look like it doesn't match up. It's fine. There's your end. So those look good. We'll click OK. Apply to strokes, like so. Zoom out. And now we have this roundingness that I thought I would try. Just for kicks. Okay. Now, here's where somebody asks the question, hey Paul, this is all screwed up. Can you connect it? This is where it means making a separate brush, right? I would take this, I would duplicate this brush. There we go. 2 brushes. This one brush will not have an end, like so. Let's duplicate it again. In the second brush, we'll go Click OK. There we are. Now we could take this and apply this different brush to it. So it still has this end right here, but we've gotten rid of that weirdness, that rounded part right over here. So that's all. You guys know what I'm doing. It's too tight. I need to get involved here. I'm taking off my sweater. You know what? There. But this is looking very clean. I don't know if you like it that clean. We can do something like this just for fun, huh? Let's do this, huh? Let's not be afraid to make mistakes. Boom. Let's really mess this up. Zoop. Bring this up here. Okay. It's not gonna work. Yeah, I mean business now. I'm not messing around. Yeah. Yeah. Get there. Get this over here. Knock it off, little line. Ugh. Okay, just give me 1 second. Jump in here. Let's make that bright. Take these, make that. I don't know. Does that make any sense at all? Does it make any sense at all? And who is Chad? All right. Infinity Additives and Foods. Nice to meet you. Is that on your birth certificate? So create, it kind of says create art. I don't know. I'm just like playing with this. Let's take this. Let's move it up. Let's take another stab at this where we reformat this some. Take my scissors, cut that line. Release compound path, because those, since I cut that line, that's what that is. And move this over. I don't know. Is any of this working? Is it resonating? Help me, Cody Bear. Anyone? Maybe so. I don't know. So, yeah. It is okay. We're okay. I kind of like this one. I'm kind of into this one. What do you guys think? I'm kind of liking this one. I think this one's cool. Gotta pay them bills. I like Reverb Mike, man. Let's hang out. I swear. You are hilarious. Okay, I'm really into this one. I like this one a lot. Okay. Maybe put the R under the A. So we can move that around really fast. Let's do that really quick. You're just saying do. Now it says creative art. Creative or art. Yeah. All right, so let's kind of mess with this some more, okay? Okay, everyone? Because I wanted to take this and I wanted to create all these fun patterns as well. So let me do that. Let me jump in here. We'll take that same line, right? So there we have this. And in this case, we're going to make this white. And I fear that it's going to... Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so let's play with this some more. Take this up here. I don't know where I'm at with these artboards. It's all over the place. But let's throw some fun lines in here now, huh? Let's just take the pen tool, just like ba, ba, like that. Da. Can I start doing all sorts of swirls and curves and things like that? That's kind of what I'm wondering. And why did it get a little funky right in there? Okay, Paul, you can't even do a straight line, can you? There we go. Might even do that on another layer. A lot of these crazy points we can change. Go into our properties for our stroke, and let's make sure we round those corners. Ugh. Let's try that one. Yeah, I need to round those corners. All right, just checking the time. Oh, I have so much more. I have so much time. This is great. I'm gonna try something crazy, right? So I'm gonna just jump out. You guys could see all my secret projects. I need the sacred geometry. Boom. Let's jump in here. We'll just grab this really fast. I think a lot of things are made kind of from this, but I know I have this pattern of lines, so this will be really fun to maybe take this and just see what happens, right? Let's go over here. Let's add a new layer. Paste it in. Scale it up. So here's all our cool lines, but let's go ahead and apply our brush to it that we made. We'll make sure this is set to white. We'll click right here. And then we have all these like really cool lines. All right. You guys catching a vision for this? Just wanted to have a ton of lines in here. Let's make sure we're not scaling down those lines. I want them to be the same size. So let's not make sure this is unchecked. Don't scale strokes and effects. And shrink it down. Maybe, maybe not. Thoughts? I don't know. Okay, so there we are. We made a mess. We made a mess, but it's turning into something fun, right? So when we zoom in on this, when I don't see as much of the pattern, I think we have some cool things going on. And we can easily overlay and kind of, you know, add some stuff up here. Where we at? There we are. Let's switch it to this one. You know, throw in another circle over here, right? And add to this like all we want. So that's the idea. Just kind of creating art. Is this art or is this just a mess? I don't know. Who's to say? Have another one right in here. Like that goes off to the side. Create art. It's a little hard to see. Little hard to see. Can we all agree? Okay, so how could we make this pop off a little bit more? I can, and somebody suggested this earlier, is throwing black in the background. All right, so that's going to make all these black lines disappear. It's probably going to be a horrible idea. But you know what? I'm full of them. I could show you what not to do. How about that? You know what? And that is progress. Boom. So that, again, we're just going to try some different things. There we have. What color is not in here? Hey, green. Throw some green in there. Oh, man, you know how to make something look ugly. Is this working, right? We still have all these gaps that I would definitely fill. Like, I'm not crazy about all this green that's now showing up. I'm like, okay, could I, you know, kind of fill up some of that space with some of that action. I'm using a star and then around, because I want some like nebulous curves. So that's why I'm using this like star with curved lines. We'll just move that around. So let me know what you guys think. Yeah, black background. All right, Jan's like, do the black background. Got it. I just want to have all these cool curves in here. Right? It's kind of like somebody was drawing. They're just like doodling. It's like a very tight doodle. Right? Like that. Like that. Like that. I even like that green peeking through, so it's actually getting somewhere. This usually doesn't happen. Usually it gets way worse before it gets better. But I feel like this has been a nice, like, on a nice, like, progressive, you know, it's just kind of been, like, improving, you know, as we go along. So I'm okay with how it's turning out. You know what really needs to be fun in here is we need to have some fun overlaps. So this is weaved like throughout the background. So that's definitely what we need. That would be so much fun. Let's take this, let's move it over. Maybe down, let's get that space. Maybe we'll grab another rounded rectangle. Might be easier to fill those lines with it. These lines, maybe rotate it just for fun. Would you agree? Is this hard to see? Is it looking like an eye chart? Should I turn off that black background? Or that, excuse me, that. That's probably easier to see. I don't know what I'm doing here, people. I have no idea. So, but I love the idea of this text like coming, like being weaved throughout the background. This is gonna give us some really cool depth, and it's gonna be interesting to make. Yes, Jen, you're right. I'm a little concerned that it's hard to read. I agree 100%. Like when I zoom in, right? You could almost throw too much at it. Like, and that's okay. Like it's okay to kind of go down a road. You threw too much at it, you know what? And then just like start pulling things away. Do that editing process. It's like, yeah, separate yourself from the design. Like, I don't care how long it took you to make that thing. Learn to edit, cut it down, see what works, see what doesn't. And that's why I end up like duplicating this a lot. So let's have this weave in and out. But before I do that, I'm going to zoom out. I have all this other craziness that I was working with. Let's just take these. These are my quotes for another day, huh? If I have time to get to this one, I will. But let's take these, this, cut it. Just paste that on a new layer. We'll call it other. Another day, folks. Turn that off. Now we're in the thick of it with all this craziness. And we're going to see the progression from this to whatever I have next. So let's duplicate that as well. Let's turn on my artboards. Yeah, I get it. Artboards are crazy. Let's get it into place. Boom, 1. Boom, 2. Boom, 3. Okay, so I'm kind of like that. Get rid of these others. All right, does that make sense? Just doing a little cleanup, huh? This never happens usually. But yeah. I'm not crazy about this one. That one's, I'm deleting it. All right. This one's hurting our eyes. Okay, so yeah, we can add some gradients. I almost need to get... yeah. Okay, well, let's just play with this. Why don't I just be quiet and work on my project? So we have this line come down. Zoop. We'll turn off the backgrounds. We'll add another little curve because we want this stuff to overlap. So we're going to have this overlap. That's... Or maybe at an angle. I don't know. Something fun. Let's roll this down. I got a bunch of craziness happening. Dish. 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 There we go. There's one example where we just have this little overlap, and we'll try to add some depth to this as well. Yeah, I was thinking about reducing the opacity of the mess. Yeah, we could do that. I thought about it. What I'm thinking about, by the way, okay. Let me do this one thing and then we'll work on that. Okay. I want this stuff to happen, like down here, this line needs to kind of like extend like that. So like those little overlaps, that's what I'm going for. That type of stuff, right? So again, I did this line, this one as well. Let's go in here. Let's just do, maybe we'll do it with this eye. Like that. I know, it's so hard to read. I know, people. I know, we got a problem. Why didn't you guys warn me about this? Thanks for joining me today. My name is Paul. Sorry I'm not looking at the... Ah, there you are. Afroja, I see you over there. Beta. Darving on YouTube. Chamad as well. Cool. Let's do across this way. This and this. These are going to be on top of everything. This is going to be on top. This is going to be on top. So I'm holding down the shift key, popping that. Just kind of messing with the depth. Okay, 10 minutes left. Thank you so much for that time. Check. Yeah, I'm having fun with this. I'm having fun with this. Okay, so new design. You guys hate me yet? Go over here. Okay, you might hate me for this part. Okay, there we have it. Thinking through this, right? Doing something kind of like this. And just seeing if it works. Thanks for joining me today. Got a bunch of people hanging out. We have masterclasses today, which is what I wanted to mention. Command J to join those two. Minus. Shaboom. There we go. Now we have those two joining. That looks cool. It's still quite an eye chart, isn't it though? So, yeah, you get the idea. I need to work on this a lot. But you can see basically what's happening. Cool. 3D, shall we go on to the 3D one? You guys get this idea. I could play with these colors, so I would want to make, just so you know what I want to do, I need to duplicate these brushes. I basically need to have sort of gray versions of these brushes, all right? And the background, so all of them will be varying levels of like gray, so just giving it some depth, right? And then what I would do is I'd go in here and I would make sure that this has some depth as well. So if something's going underneath something else, it would look like this sort of thing. Get there, Paul. Right, like this. But we'll use that. We will take my gradient tool, grab that bar, move that over, just like that. So I just did that once and start reusing it, but I'd want to kind of create some depth like so to make this kind of interesting. And it's all these little details that will really like make this look really nice, right? So the ins and the outs and all that fun stuff. Cool. Now find the path from C to the last E. Yeah. So yeah. Cool. You guys get the idea. I'd move these around. You know, everything is going to have some depth. Like this over here. That's going to like cast a little bit of a shadow, right? Like that. I could also just take some of these and start to throw a shadow on them. So this is going to be like a lot of work, right? So let's actually select these. Zoop. Wow, I have a lot of lines right there. Let's go to these ones. There's some lines. Let's go to Effect. Go down to Stylize, Drop Shadow. Right, so I'm adding an overall drop shadow to this. And again, probably taking that down to 40. Making this a little less. You get the idea. Adjusting the offset, all that fun stuff. Right, so that's kind of where I'm headed with this. All right, cool. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. It's okay. We'll make it good, right? And you can see how that is done. Let's move on to my other one. Now, geez, I don't even have time. This is where I've ended up. I was about to start a brand new project. Oh, that was so close. But hopefully you can see where this is going and can appreciate it. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We have a Photoshop Masterclass up next, and then I'm going to dive into some Photoshop later on today in exactly 90 minutes. So thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me. Again, we're just being creative. We're having fun. And thank you so much for helping me brainstorm when it comes to manipulating and distorting type, right? We didn't even play that much with type. We kind of jumped immediately into converting that into a line that gave us a lot more flexibility. So thank you, Susan Wilson. General Kenobi's in the house. Michelle, I always appreciate you. Thank you. Cody Bear is here as well. You guys are amazing, and I just like you guys hanging out with me. So I'll see you guys in about 90 minutes. And yeah, T. White. Terry White's going to be up as well doing some masterclass around photography. So you guys got it. Thanks so much. You guys are awesome. Take care, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Say